Um, if you are a VP of sales, your biggest unseen revenue leak is, well, it's probably sitting right across the hall from you.
Yeah, right in the marketing department usually.
Exactly. I mean, the
Yeah.
data shows like 68% of B2B companies are just bleeding cash because of this exact misalignment.
Right.
So in this deep dive, we're looking at JP LeMaitre's 2026 playbook to fix it. And I want to be super clear right up front. We're not talking about, you know, scheduling team trust falls or marketing happy hours.
Yeah, please no.
Right. Like culture-first approaches without actual process changes are just a fatal flaw.
They absolutely are. Our mission here is to really extract the structural changes you need to build a permanent revenue architecture based on his playbook.
And the payoff is huge, right?
Oh, yeah. Teams that get this right are seeing like 2.4 times higher revenue growth, which is massive.
Okay, wow. So let's unpack this. Because to stop the bleeding, you basically have to force marketing and sales to actually agree on reality, which sounds basic, but you have to permanently kill that whole junk-led argument.
Right. And that debate usually happens because, well, the two teams speak completely different languages. So you fix it by brutally standardizing your definitions.
Brutally standardizing. I like that.
Yeah, you really need absolute criteria for, MQLs, SQLs, and specifically your SL, your sales accepted leads.
Which is, just to clarify, the exact moment a rep officially takes ownership of the handoff. Right.
Exactly. And LeMaitre insists that you build your ideal customer profile, your ICP, based entirely on closed-won data.
Okay, wait. So that means looking at the accounts that actually close with the shortest cycles.
Yes, exactly. Not marketing's aspirational vanity board of who they'd like to sell to, but who actually buys.
Right. And once you agree on exactly who you're targeting, the system needs accountability. Which brings us to service-level agreements, or SLAs, for both sides.
Yeah, so sales commits to contacting a qualified lead within, say, 4 business hours, and marketing commits to responding to a recycled lead within 24 hours.
See, I have to push back here because traditional alignment workshops often feel like, couples counseling where no one actually agrees to do the dishes.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. But do SLAs actually work? Because, if I tell my top performing closer, I'm docking their pay because they missed a 4-hour SLA on a Tuesday, they'll just quit.
Well, yeah.
So how do you roll this out without just completely destroying morale?
So you don't do it as this sudden punitive strike. You have to phase it into the performance reviews and compensation structure, like really gradually.
Okay.
It's not about nickel and diming a star rep. It's about treating the handoff as a core performance metric. Like if a rep consistently ignores hot leads, that's a structural failure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and by eventually tying it to compensation, you prove it's not just some aspirational guideline, it actually has teeth.
Okay, so you force them to agree on the target, and you incentivize them to follow up fast.
Yeah.
But what happens when the rep actually gets the prospect on the phone?
Right, the actual conversation.
Because if marketing is writing white papers about, like, synergy, and the buyer is complaining about implementation downtime, the deal still dies.
Which perfectly explains the wildest stat in this playbook. 65 to 70% of marketing content goes completely unused by sales.
Wait, really? That high?
Yeah, it simply doesn't map to real buying conversations at all.
Wow. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting to me. LeMaitre's fix for this is the reverse brief. Instead of marketing just guessing what to create, sales actively requests content based on real-world objections.
Yep.
But I have to ask, isn't this just turning the marketing department into like an on-demand copy shop for demanding sales reps?
Well, no, not if you use the right mechanism. Instead of a rep just emailing, hey, I need a brochure, sales actually sends marketing a 2-minute gong or chorus snippet.
Oh, like a recording of a buyer rejecting them on a call.
Exactly. And they say, build me something that answers exactly this. So marketing still owns the strategy and the creation, but sales provides that frontline intelligence.
To ensure the assets actually move the needle. That's a massive shift. You're literally putting the voice of the customer directly into the marketing team's ears.
It changes everything, but for that collaborative process to actually stick, the financial incentives have to align.
Right, because measuring marketing by MQL volume and sales by closed deals is, well, it's like paying the offensive line for blocks and the quarterback for touchdowns, but not keeping score for the actual game.
That is the perfect analogy. Measuring volume without context just creates false success signals. So you have to track shared metrics like lead to opportunity conversion.
Which leads to the playbook's absolute boldest move, a shared bonus pool.
Yes, tying the VP of Marketing's bonus to sales quota attainment and the VP of Sales bonus to marketing-sourced pipeline.
The blame game dies instantly when everyone's wallets are tied together.
It really does. So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, the entire playbook takes about 90 days to implement.
Okay, so it's a 90-day sprint.
Yeah, you start with a 30-day foundation of auditing your current conversion baselines and drafting those shared definitions we talked about.
Right, and then I guess days 31 through 90 are about operationalizing those definitions. Rolling out the SLAs, setting up the conversation snippet workflows for those reverse briefs, and officially restructuring the bonus pools for the next quarter.
Exactly. It's an entire system upgrade. Shared language enables integrated processes, and joint metrics prove what actually works.
So think about that unseen leak sitting right across the hall from you. I want to leave you with this one thought to mull over.
Let's hear it.
If your VP of Marketing's bonus was suddenly tied directly to your team's sales quota, what is the very first thing they would stop doing tomorrow?